Well, hello there, and hold on. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Dean, the Turkey Legster, and I was so excited about going live. I forgot. Give me 1 second. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Oops. Wrong side. Hold on a second. Okay. All right. So now I should be plugged in. All right. Well, welcome to Once Upon a Turkey Leg. I am Dean, and I forgot again. There we go. Welcome to the stream tonight, my friends. It is December the 22nd. We are inching very much closer to the most wonderful the most wonderful day of the year. Christmas Day is coming really quickly. Hey, Annie. Happy Thursday. Merry Christmas. Carol, hello. Happy Thursday. Merry Christmas. And today is the 22nd, so that makes it Christmas Eve. And I'm looking forward to the holiday. It's been a great season. As always, tonight on Once Upon a Turkey Leg, I am going to be reading some stories. But I wanted to show a couple things off. I probably showed these last year, but who knows? I thought it would be fun to just show for a few minutes some of my Christmas stockings. I have accumulated a number of Christmas stockings over the years. So here's one. This is red on the top. I like this one. I like squirrels. Down here at the bottom, Christmas tree. And that is one of my stockings. Really just decorations that don't, nothing's going to actually go in them. So they are hanging around in my room. Next we have, here's the Disney Flair. We've got Buzz, Woody, and Forky right there. Of course, the red on the top. Right there, and it's just blue on the back. So there's our To Infinity and Beyond stockings. Then I've got this one. If you know anything about me, you know that I love the Peanuts. So when I saw this one, I had to get it. There's Snoopy, Woodstock, lights on the doghouse there. Really love that one, that one. And then my last one that I have, and actually, though, it's the last one, period. Well, it's the last one that I have, and the last one that I'll show you. But this one is last not because it's my least favorite. This one is it's last because it relates to our first story tonight. So there we are. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. So that is the last stocking on my lineup tonight. And so with that, let me go ahead and we'll move in. We'll go ahead and start the stories tonight. And as hinted, our first story tonight is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Little golden book. So this is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. This adaptation is by Rick Bunsen and illustrated by Arcadia. Christmas Town, also known as the North Pole, is the wonderful place where Santa Claus lives with Mrs. Claus, all the elves, and the flying reindeer that pull Santa's sleigh every Christmas Eve. Nowadays, Christmas Town is a happy place. The elves make toys, the reindeer fly, but in the old days, everyone had to watch out for the abominable snow monster. He was big and furry and hated anything having to do with Christmas, and he liked to eat reindeer. There is Christmas Town, or the North Pole. All that started to change when Santa's lead reindeer, Donner, became a papa. "We'll call him Rudolph," said Donner, looking at his new son. Suddenly, Donner and Mrs. Donner saw a bright light. "He's got a shiny nose," said Donner in surprise. "I'd even say it glows." Santa came to see the new arrival, but then he saw Rudolph's nose. "Let's hope this glowing stops if Rudolph wants to make the sleigh team," Santa said. "We can't have any shiny noses flying through the sky." So the Donners put a little cover on Rudolph's nose. And hi, Mandy. Welcome in. Happy Thursday. Merry Christmas. Soon it was time for the new fawns to go to the reindeer games. There they would be inspected by Santa, who would choose the best reindeer for his team. At first Rudolph felt shy, but soon he met a doe named Clarice. "I think you're cute," she told Rudolph. The coach arrived to teach the fawns what they needed to know to be on Santa's team. "First, we'll learn to fly," he told them. "You'll have to get up enough speed and jump into the wind." Rudolph was so excited about his new friend that he took off with a great whoosh. He soared high over the heads of the reindeer, and Santa too. But as all the young reindeer continued to play, the cover popped off Rudolph's nose. It glowed for all to see. At first the other deer were frightened, but soon they began to laugh and call poor Rudolph names. "Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer," they cheered, and the coach said, "Go on home. From now on, you can't join in any reindeer games." Only Clarice didn't laugh at Rudolph. Poor Rudolph wandered off alone. Soon he met an elf who was hiding in the woods. "My name is Hermie," said the elf. "I want to be a dentist, but right now I'm just an elf who doesn't belong." "And I'm a red-nosed reindeer," sighed Rudolph. The pair decided to be friends and to run away together. They hadn't wandered far when they heard the terrible roaring of the abominable snow monster. "It's my nose," said Rudolph. "The monster sees it and is coming after us." Rudolph and Hermie were saved by Yukon Cornelius, the greatest prospector in the north. "Jump onto my sled," said Cornelius, "and we'll run like crazy." But no matter how fast they went, the monster stayed close behind. Finally, they were trapped at the water's edge. Cornelius chopped the ice with his axe, and the friends floated safely away. They floated all night and landed on a strange island where they were greeted by a puppet that sprang from a box. "I'm the official sentry of the island of misfit toys," said the puppet. "My name is Charlie, and that's why I'm a misfit toy. No child wants to play with a Charlie in the box." Hello, Amy. Welcome in. Happy Thursday and Merry Christmas. "We want to travel with Santa Claus in his magic sleigh," said a misfit doll. "Otherwise, we'll miss all the fun with the boys and girls when Christmas Day arrives." The friends met an elephant with polka dots, a choo-choo train with square wheels, a water pistol that shot jelly, a bird that swam, a cowboy riding an ostrich, and a boat that couldn't float. "We're misfits, too," said Rudolph. "Maybe we could stay here with you." But the king of the island would let them stay for only one night. "This island is for toys alone," he said. "A living creature cannot hide here. But you can help us. When you return to Christmas Town, tell Santa about these homeless toys. I'm sure he can find girls and boys who would love to be happy with them. A toy is never happy till it's loved by a child." That night, while Hermie and Cornelius slept, Rudolph lay awake. "My nose will only bring my friends more danger," he thought. "I must go off on my own." But as he wandered alone in the snow, Rudolph realized that he couldn't run away from his troubles. Rudolph returned to the mainland and headed for Christmas Town. But first, he had to pass the cave of the abominable snow monster. As he did, Rudolph heard voices crying, "Help! Help!" Rudolph rushed inside. There were Rudolph's parents and Clarice. They had been searching for Rudolph and had been caught by the monster who was about to devour Clarice. "Put her down!" Rudolph cried, butting the surprised monster with his little antlers. Just then, Hermie and Cornelius pulled up outside the cave. They had followed Rudolph's trail and knew he needed help. "An abominable snow monster will never pass up a pork dinner," said Cornelius. "Hermie, you sit outside the cave and oink like a pig. When the monster comes outside, watch out." Hermie approached the mouth of the cave. "Oink, oink," he called. The monster dropped Clarice and rushed outside. At that moment, Cornelius pushed a giant snowball down on top of him. Splat! Working quickly while the monster was stunned, Hermie used his dentist tools to remove the monster's teeth. Back in Christmas Town, Rudolph told how he and his friends had defeated the abominable snow monster. Everyone realized that misfits have their place too. Rudolph told Santa about the misfit toys. "As soon as the storm lets up, I'll find homes for them," Santa promised. Then the weather elf handed Santa his report. Santa gasped, "The storm won't subside by tonight. I won't be able to see to fly my sleigh." Suddenly, a flash of light caught Santa's eye. "Rudolph, what a beautiful, wonderful nose! Won't you guide my sleigh tonight?" "I'd be honored to," said Rudolph, putting on his jingle bells. "Okay, Rudolph," said Santa. "First stop is the island of misfit toys. Up, up, and away!" And with Rudolph leading the way, Santa soon found loving homes for all those lovely toys. "Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer," everyone sang, "you'll go down in history." And he did. And that is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. All right, and that is our first story. As always, we'll go ahead and move on to the second story. I won't waste any time starting. This is a fun story. I still need to watch this special and then all of the newer versions of this. Still, How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now, please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be, perhaps, that his shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. Hi, Jackie, RVing to Disney. Welcome in, happy Thursday, and Merry Christmas. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the Whos, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm lighted windows below in their town. For he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now, hanging a mistletoe wreath. And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here. Then he growled, with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming, I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming. For tomorrow, he knew, all the Who boys and girls and boys would wake bright and early. They'd rush for their toys. And then, oh, the noise, 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 noise. That's one thing he hated. The noise, 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 noise. Then the Whos, young and old, would sit down to a feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, 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 feast. They would feast on Who pudding and rare Who roast beefs, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. Hi, Tina and Chuck. Happy Thursday. Welcome and Merry Christmas. And then they'd do something he liked least of all. For every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Whos would start singing. They'd sing and they'd sing. And they'd sing, 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 sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I've put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming. But how? And then he got an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. I know just what to do. The Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. And he chuckled and clucked. What a great Grinchy trick! With this coat and this hat, I look just like Saint Nick. All I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around, but since reindeer are scarce, there was none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No. The Grinch simply said, if I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he called his dog Max. Then he took some red thread and he tied a big horn on top of his head. Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh, and he hitched up old Max. Then the Grinch said, get up! And the sleigh started down toward the homes where the Who's lay a snooze in their town. All their windows were dark. Quiet snow filled the air. All the Who's were all dreaming, sweet dreams without care. When he came to the first little house on the square, this is stop number 1, the old Grinchy Claus hissed, and he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch, but if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once, for a moment or two. Then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue, with the little Who stockings all hung in a row. These stockings, he grinned, are the first things to go. Then he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present. Pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn, and plums, and he stuffed them in bags. Then the Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags, one by one, up the chimney. Then he slunk to the icebox. He took the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beef. He cleaned out that icebox as quick as a flash. Why, that Grinch even took their last can of Who hash. One second, let me clear this notification off my computer. And hello, Richard. Welcome in. Happy Thursday. Merry Christmas. Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee. And now, grinned the Grinch, I will stuff up the tree. And the Grinch grabbed the tree and he started to shove, when he heard a small sound like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast and he saw a small Who, little Cindy Lou who was not more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter, who'd got out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch and said, Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why? But you know, that old Grinch was so smart and so slick. He thought up a lie, and he thought it up quick. Why, my sweet little tot, the fake Santa Claus lied. There's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, then I'll bring it back here. And his fib fooled the child. Then he patted her head, and he got her a drink, and he sent her to bed. And when Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. Then the last thing he took was the log for their fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On their walls he left nothing but hooks and some wire. And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Then he did the same thing to the other Who's houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other Who's mouses. It was 1/4 past dawn, all the Who's still abed, all the Who's still a snooze, when he packed up his sled, packed it up with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags and the tinsel, the trimmings, the trappings. 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip top to dump it. Pooh-pooh to the Who's, he was grinchily humming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two. Then the Who's down in Whoville will all cry, boo-hoo. That's a noise, grinned the Grinch, that I simply must hear. So he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear, and he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded merry. But it couldn't be so. But it was merry. Very. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came, somehow or other. It came just the same. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons, it came without tags, it came without packages, boxes, or bags. And he puzzled 3 hours, till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of I'm getting a blank stream. Okay, it came back. Hopefully there wasn't lag there. Okay. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light. And he brought back the toys and the food for the feast. And he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beef. and that is How the Grinch Stole Christmas. All right, hopefully I got a spot of lag there a minute ago. I hope that the stream wasn't too disruptive on the other end out there, but anyway, hopefully you enjoyed that story. And as a bonus treat tonight, it will be my last stream from sitting here at home before Christmas. I'm going to do do something else before I sign off tonight and end the stream. The other night on Tuesday, I did a stream where I sang some different songs, some Christmas songs, some carols, some favorite songs from some different movies and shows. So before we sign off tonight, I'm going to do a repeat performance because it was so much fun the other night because I read The Grinch tonight. I'm going to do again the Grinch song. So, here we go. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy back black peel. You're a monster, Mr. Grinch. Your heart's an empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders. You've got garlic in your soul, Mr. Grinch. I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole. You're a vile one, Mr. Grinch. You're a nasty, wasty skunk. Your heart is full of unwashed socks. Your soul is full of gunk, Mr. Grinch. The 3 words that best describe you are as follows, and I quote, stink, stank, stunk. You're a rotter, Mr. Grinch. You're the king of sinful sauce. Your heart's a dead tomato splotched with moldy purple spots, Mr. Grinch. Your soul is an appalling dump heap, overflowing with the most disgraceful assortment of rubbish imaginable, mangled up and tangled up knots. You nauseate me, Mr. Grinch, with a nausea super nos. You're a crooked, dirty jockey, and you drive a crooked hoss, Mr. Grinch. You're a 3-decker sauerkraut and toadstool sandwich with arsenic sauce. And that is, you're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. All right, well, that is the stream tonight. Thank you for coming in, guys. Have a great night. So tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be going live again, going around seeing if we can find some Christmas lights around the area. I'll be live driving around tomorrow night starting again at 7 p.m. Going probably close to an hour, I would estimate, depending on how the stream is going and everything. So I look forward to doing that for you guys tomorrow. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. If you would please hit the like button for me there. If you're watching this on the replay, let me know below that you are watching. And I hope and pray you have a very Merry Christmas this weekend. Stay safe, stay warm, and yeah, so take care and have a wonderful gobble-tastic night. Take care, everybody. Do 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 do.